biomolecules, that is our macromolecules, I will say. These are our nucleic acids, right? And if you want to discuss, want to read more details about nucleic acids, then you can also refer to my biomolecules chapter. Complete chapter is in the playlist, right? This here in this revision video I have taken few very important points, but in the biomolecules chapter, in under the topic nucleic acid, I have discussed every single line of nucleic acid, so you can go through that also. I will mention the your video in the description box also, so you can refer to that. Okay, so nucleic acid, whenever whenever I use the word nucleic acid, there is a very some students, I don't know why do they feel difficult to define it. See, whenever we say macromolecules, it means they are large structures. One thing should be clear in your mind, that they are large structure, right? And when we use the word large, it means they are polymers. So here same nucleic acids, they are our biopolymers. Bio means they are synthesized in the living cell, and polymers means they are made up of many monomeric units. Now, the moment you spell out a name, there will be a question, what are, which kind of monomers they are made up of? We know that. Okay, can you tell me any other biomolecule? Proteins, we just discussed proteins, they are made up of amino acids. Same, nucleic acids, they are polymers and they are made up of our smaller units, nucleotide. Oh no, another question in mind. So what are nucleotide? That I will discuss in just the next just a few seconds later. First, let's see what is the major function of nucleic acid. Every one of you know that their major function is to hold our genetic information, right? So there are two important, very important types of nucleic acids. We have DNA and RNA. When I use the word biopolymers, it means they are biological, they are synthesized inside the body, they are not synthetic. And like proteins, they are also biomolecules because they are made up of small monomers, that is amino acids. So now we are going to crack that how nucleic acids, they are made up of monomers, nucleotide. So what is the monomeric unit in nucleic acid? That is our nucleotide. So what is a nucleotide? If you want to read about detailed about the nucleoside and nucleotide, then you have to go through my normal lecture of the biomolecules. Here I am going to tell you the only the important things. See, what is a nucleotide? You know, nucleotide is always, it is made up of three things. One is our pentose sugar. Why I am calling it as a pentose sugar? Look at the carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth is always outside, and with fifth carbon there is attached, that is your with the fifth carbon there we attach our phosphate group, right? Phosphate group is attached with our fifth carbon. So that is basically three things which it is nucleotide is made up of. One is sugar. Which sugar? Pentose carbon, 5 carbon sugar. Then there is a phosphate group, and at the first carbon there is a nitrogen base. So nucleotide is having three things. One is sugar. Which kind of sugar? 5 carbon sugar. Second, it is having a nitrogenous base. Third, it at the fifth carbon it is having phosphate group. That makes your nucleotide. If I say you are having only sugar and nitrogenous base, that makes your nucleoside. So how nucleotide different from nucleoside? Nucleoside is having only sugar plus base. Nucleotide is having sugar plus base plus phosphate. Now sugar. Which kind of sugar? 5 carbon sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is 5. Usually this is a pentose sugar and it is of two type, ribose and deoxyribose. Another question is coming on your way. That is ribose. What is ribose and what is deoxyribose? Both are pentose sugar, right? So only the difference is at the second carbon. Look at the second carbon. In the ribose, there we are having hydroxyl group at the second carbon, but in deoxyribose, oxygen is not there. That is why we call it as a deoxyribose. So your DNA is made up of having which sugar? DNA is having which sugar? Deoxyribose. And RNA is having which sugar? Ribose sugar. R for RNA, R for ribose sugar, D for deoxy, D for DNA. Right? So I think you can draw these two sugars, ribose sugar and deoxyribose. Only you have to pay attention at the second carbon. In deoxyribose, at the second carbon, there is no OH. In the ribose, it has hydroxyl group. That is why we say, because of one less functional group, deoxy, our DNA is more stable as compared to RNA, right? Now how to number your ring? Always many students, they do a very big mistake. They start numbering from here. This is wrong, totally wrong, right? How you should number? Always start from clockwise manner. This is our carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4, and carbon number 5. So this is, now if it is at the second carbon, it is having hydroxyl group, which kind of sugar it will be? Ribose sugar. If it is not having hydroxyl group, which kind of sugar it will be? Deoxyribose. Removal of oxygen makes the DNA more stable as compared to the RNA. So second thing which is present in our nucleotide, one is sugar, we already discussed, another one is phosphate. So can you look, their phosphorus is in the center and here we are having our oxygen to complete the valence position, which is electronegative, right? So here I will just do it like this is negative, right? Now this is our phosphate, which is attached at fifth carbon of our sugar. It is attached with the fifth carbon of sugar. Then the third one is our nitrogenous bases. See, one thing is nitrogen. It means they are having nitrogen in the ring. And second, we are calling them bases. So bases are those basically which can donate electrons to the other molecules. Now there are two types of nitrogenous bases in our DNA and RNA. Two types. One is pyrimidine, another is purines. How to remember them? See, there is a rule. There is a one shortcut to remember them. Purines. Remember just the letters AGP. Okay? AGP. I for adenine. G for guanine. P for purines. They both are purines. And for pyrimidines, just remember one word, that is QT-pie. C for cytosine, T for thiamine, and PY is pyrimidine. So we have two types of nitrogenous bases, pyrimidine and purines. Pyrimidines, they are single ring structure, and purines, they are double ring structure. So which kind of purines you have? AGP, adenine and guanine. Which kind of pyrimidines you have? QT-pie, C for cytosine, T for thiamine, PY for pyrimidine. So, okay, when you must have observed the structure of DNA, there is the base pairs in between them, right, which attached from one strand to the another. So if there is one strand is having adenine, other will have thymine. So base pair rule says that adenine, first rule, purines will always pair with pyrimidines. Okay, purines with always pyramid pair with pyrimidine. pyrimidine और pyrimidine को आपस में compare pair नहीं करना है. Okay, one more thing, there I have written uracil. बच्चा, in RNA we don't have thymine. In RNA, ये लिख लेना अपनी नोटबुक में, that in RNA instead of thymine we are having uracil. So we have three pyrimidines total, thymine, cytosine, uracil. But in RNA, instead of thymine, we have uracil. Okay, we were talking about base pair rule. Adenine will always base pair with thymine, and guanine will always base pair with cytosine. Now, what are these lines? These are our hydrogen bonds. Adenine base pair with thymine with the 2 hydrogen bonds. Guanine base pair with the cytosine with the 3 hydrogen bonds, and they are weak hydrogen bonds. But the base pair rule is same. Purines always pair with pyrimidines. This much is clear, that purines, they will base pair with pyrimidines. Fine. Next is that is how do now this, we said one nucleotide, it is going to your nucleic acid is a polynucleotide structure. It means we need many nucleotide. So but to make nucleotide, we are having sugar, we discuss phosphate, we discuss nitrogenous base. How do they are joined? Nitrogenous base, this is a single ring, will it be purine or pyrimidine? I should write pyrimidine. Very good. So here now this pyrimidine is attached with the first carbon with the help of glycosidic bond, and this fifth carbon is attached with phosphate with the help of ester bond. So how nucleic acid is formed? Now this is usually DNA is helical structure. For our understanding, I have made it in a single line. So here, as you can see, there is one nucleotide, second nucleotide, third nucleotide. So in this way, many nucleotides join together to form our DNA. Now the major thing is, look at this structure. Here there is one end of this sugar, 5' end is free, and here 3' end is free. So this strand of DNA will run from 5' to 3' direction. Now this is my second strand, and here as you can see 3' end is free, and here 5' end is free. So this strand will run in 3' to 5' direction. So that is one of the characteristic of our DNA, that the strands, they are helical but they are anti-parallel to each other. If one strand is running in 3' to 5', other will run in 5 dash to 3 dash. अब बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जिनको 5 dash to 3 dash समझ नहीं आता है. बच्चा ध्यान से सुनो. This sugar, this whole nucleotide basically, here 5 dash end is free. So we are giving it 5 dash. Here 3 dash end is free. So we are numbering at 3 dash. Here our 3 dash is free. So this strand will be 3 dash to 5 dash. Now these nucleotides, they are attached with, look at these two nucleotides. How are they attached? With the diester bond, because this is attached with the phosphate, so this is known as phosphodiester bond. So two nucleotides, they join with the help of phosphodiester bond. The bond which is very very important here, that is phosphodiester bond. Why? What if the question comes, what is DNA and what are the characteristics of DNA? How will you explain this? Then you have to draw this structure. This is the first strand. Okay, they don't call it as a two strand. This is only one strand, and this green one is our second strand, which is coiled around this. So here you can see when this is coiling, this is forming a two grooves, two areas, shallow groove and one is deep groove. So two grooves, if two grooves are forming in your structure, it means your structure is perfectly correct. Look at the strand. There is one strand is running from 3 dash. This strand is running from 3 dash to 5 dash, and this green one is running from 5 dash to 3 dash direction. The distance between two base pairs, we are saying these are our base pairs. So distance between two base pairs is that is 3.4 angstrom. The distance between two base pairs is 3.4 angstrom or 0.34 nanometer. Now after every turn, how many at one turn, how many bases you will observe? 10 base pairs. I said pairs. So if this strand is having adenine, this will have thymine. If this strand will have G, this will have C. So 10 base pairs per turn. And the height of this helix, pitch of the helix, that is 3.4 nanometer, or you will say 34 angstrom. And the distance between two strands is 20 angstrom. So these are the few points which we can mention when we describe the structure of DNA. That the distance between base pairs, pitch of the helix, how many base pairs one turn has, distance between two strands. These are the most important characteristics of our DNA. Watson and Crick, they were the first two scientists who proposed this double helical structure. They said that these two strands, they are antipolar in nature. If one strand is 5 dash to 3 dash, other will be 3 dash to 5 dash. And DNA consists of these polynucleotides chains to form, what should I write here? To form double helical structure, and both strands, they are spirally coiled and antipolar. They are joined by these strands, they are joined by basically hydrogen bonds, and nucleotides, they are joined by phosphodiester bond. So two bonds are important. One bond that is for the bases and one bond is for the joining of nucleotides. So that trick I told you, please keep this trick in the mind, that AGP, adenine plus guanine, they are our purines, AGP, and QTPI, cytosine and thymine, they are our pyrimidines. The another nucleic acid is RNA. RNA is ribonucleic acid. It is having which sugar? Ribose sugar, and it helps in polypeptide synthesis, means it plays role in protein synthesis. It transfers genetic information. You know that information is stored in DNA. From DNA, it is transferred to RNA. From RNA, it expressed in the form of protein. So it is a messenger which conveys the genetic information. But there is a one major difference. DNA is the molecule which can self replicate. RNA, no. RNA cannot self replicate. It is a single stranded structure. RNA is single stranded structure. If someone asks you that who discovered nucleic acid, for the who isolated them basically for the first time, that was the F Mesher. F Mesher, for the very first time, he isolated nucleic acid from the nuclei of pus cells, because these are present in nucleus. That is why the name nucleic acid is given, which are made up of our which monomer? Nucleotides. What are nucleotides? Sugar plus base plus phosphate, right? I hope this lecture is clear. At least some picture is there now in your mind. So go through this lecture, and for detail I will put the this link of my other videos of from the biomolecules in the description box.